This is exactly why people don't respect Christianity anymore. If you haven't heard the news, Ryan Garcia, professional boxer, he is set to fight Devin Haney this upcoming weekend, April 20th, for a championship fight. And what does he go ahead and do? He go ahead and proposes to a porn star to become the mother of his children, to become his wife. And I wouldn't, first of all, who cares, right? I don't particularly care what people do in a secular society. People can do whatever they want, right? But the thing is, not 2-3 months ago, he was on the PBD podcast, basically preaching about how he is ultra Christian, how he's super devout to Jesus, how he's, just all these things, listing off why he believes in Christianity, right? And then, since then, he's had what seems to be a few meltdowns over the internet. God only knows what he's going through and what his situation is. And I do get that at this level of fame, this level of money, this level of success, temptation is absolutely everywhere, right? But nobody, I repeat, nobody sort of just speaks up and says, hey, and I mean, again, he's an adult, he can do whatever the hell he wants, right? Especially in a secular society. But there are no Christians out there being like, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, you go down this thing. And by the way, he's not the only one, right? Like, John Jones is another person who's kind of, not to the different, but like, there's just so many people who are willing to almost, I would say, like, defame Christianity. Like, Christianity used to be, people used to be afraid to make fun of Christianity. People used to be afraid to mock Christianity. And by the way, like, I'm not Christian. I'm Muslim. And there's so many Christians out there that I have a ton of respect for, who are like amazing, who are amazing people, amazing people. But as a larger community, as a larger society, you guys are so friggin' weak and pathetic, right? Again, I'm not talking about individual Christians who like stand up for the things they believe in, and I'm not talking about the ones who actually live on principles and do some of the things the Bible actually says, right? I'm talking about the ones who say, I'm a Christian, and then just don't ignore everything that your book tells you to do, right? You will never, ever, I don't think you will ever find a Muslim out there. Like, they may identify as Muslim, right? They may even feel like a little bit of Islam in their heart. But you'll never find a Muslim openly marry an adult actress, a porn star, openly date a porn star, and then go ahead and proclaim that they love the Prophet Muhammad and that they love, that this is okay in Islam, and, try to portray themselves as a good Muslim. And by the way, that is not to say someone who does adult entertainment or any of these type of things can't change. And that's not to say that someone who has had a brutal past can't be a source for good and positivity in the world, right? To give you an example, I think this was a couple years ago, someone, Mia Khalifa, did this whole thing where she pretended to be a Muslim girl, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, right? And she asked this Muslim imam that, okay, well, if I became Muslim, can I convert to Islam? I don't think she ever went about it, but yes, the answer is yes, you can. And yes, everything you've done in the past up to that point is pretty much forgiven. At the same time, it's one of these things, they were talking about how Ryan Garcia is going to have a child with this woman, how this is going to be the mother of children, how this is going to be a role model for your children. And I don't know, like, who knows? Maybe this person has changed and vowed to give up this industry and, you know, make themselves better, right? But on the other hand, like, it just seems like such a crock. It just seems like this is why people don't have respect for Christianity anymore, because y'all don't respect yourselves. Another example of this, like this UFC 300, Bo Nickel. And this, by the way, Bo Nickel did a good job standing up for his faith, right? Some reporter asked him, if you haven't already, if you made it this far, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Helps with YouTube algorithm, helps grow the channel. Bo Nickel, a reporter's like, you've been called the Jesus Christ of MMA. Whatever the hell that means, with your training, with this. And Bo Nickel goes ahead and he says, you know, as a Christian, I don't like that reference, and you know, I don't think you should refer to me that way, right? That was kind of the end of the discussion. They moved on, right? But if you look back to, you know, how some Muslim fighters have seen disrespect, right? For example, Conor versus Khabib, and this is the best example, when one of the reporters is like, Khabib, salam alaikum, Conor, congratulations on your whiskey deal, and then Khabib immediately picks up the microphone and says, hey, you can't say salam alaikum and then congratulate someone on alcohol, right? Like, this is the level. And this is why people are starting to finally respect Islam. After years of like media contamination and hatred and all these other kind of things, it's because Muslims will not budge on some of their core beliefs. They won't accept you making a mockery of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They won't accept you making a mockery of Jesus Christ, right? Whether you know this or not, like, a lot of Muslims believe in Jesus and respect Jesus. So, anyway, people can do whatever they want. You know, we live in a secular society. We live in North America. Ryan Garcia can marry whoever he wants, and I get it, right? To an extent. At that level, like, the temptation is just insane. Like, you'll have the most beautiful women in the world just completely throwing themselves at you, right? Beautiful. So I get it. And I believe even Muhammad Ali, right, had some slip-ups in his past with different women. I don't know if this is true, but those were the rumors that were out there. You know, may you rest in peace. But my whole point is that, like, if you look at people, like even Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's Muslim, right? But he's gone on there and said, look, I'm not good at it. I shouldn't be anybody's example. He has his issues. Whatever, right? But he doesn't go around proclaiming, like, that he's a role model, that Muhammad's this, Muhammad's that, whatever, right? He doesn't speak about something that he doesn't have knowledge on. Comparatively speaking, you know, you have Ryan Garcia going on the PVD podcast talking about how big of a devout Christian he is. And by the way, like, everybody makes mistakes. No matter whether you're Christian, Muslim, everybody has their issues, right? But to go on and just be someone who's preaching, because that's what it felt like when I watched that interview, preaching, and then to turn around and, you know, kind of behave this way. This is why people don't have respect for that religion anymore, because you don't respect yourself. Like, nobody stands up and says, well, this is wrong, what you're doing is wrong. Nobody defends, nobody defends Jesus or the Bible or any of this type of stuff. And in fact, you'll see a lot of Muslims. I've heard accounts from a lot of Muslim people who, like, they'll see a Bible in, like, an undignified space, and they'll, like, pick it up and they'll dust it off, and they'll treat the Bible with respect. They'll treat Christianity with respect. They'll treat, Prophet Isa, Jesus, with respect. Prophet Moses with respect. And they won't stand for people making a mockery of these type of things. So, yeah, this is insane to me. This is why Christianity is losing to Islam, because nobody stands up for Christian beliefs. And I'm saying this as a Muslim. Like, I would rather, as a Muslim, I would rather, you know, Christians kind of stand up for themselves and some of the things that they believe in, and get, you know, all this nonsense out of the church, the rainbow mafia and all these other kind of things. At least have some balls to stand up for what you believe in, and not let, you know, people water down your faith and make a mockery of the things that you believe in. Because Muslims don't do that. And now you're seeing so many people come to Islam because we don't settle for such things. Anyway, Ryan Garcia, you are never going to see this, but if you do, I invite you to read the Quran. I invite you to Islam, because, yeah, bro, it seems like you need all the help you can get, and the Muslims are going to be the only ones who back you up here, not the Christians. Anyway, on another note, I think that Devin Haney is going to whoop Ryan Garcia's ass this weekend, and he's going to come out on top. Thank you all for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments.